Hey, Bob.
Hey, Leslie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So today we're going to talk about a private Facebook group that is for agents who are getting licensed or who have recently been licensed. Tell me about the group and what's the mission of the group?
So, this is an extension of a page I started a while back. It's called Do You Want to Be a Texas Agent? And basically, what we see in the industry is an 87% washout rate. And the people who get their license
Right.
5 years later are not in the industry. 87% failure rate in this industry. And I think that's abhorrent. There are two reasons I think that this happens. One, people don't realize how much hard work this is. They watch HGTV, they think they show 3 houses in an hour and make $1 million, and that's not a documentary, that's fiction. Second thing is they get into the brokerage system. When you're an agent, you have to have a broker, and the brokerage system is designed to take agents in, chew them up, charge them large fees, and shoot them back out. Okay, so imagine being at McDonald's and you work at McDonald's, but you have to pay to work at McDonald's to hand out the burgers. That's what brokerages are usually like. It's a fee-based industry, and the more people they have come in, the more people pay them fees. Have you ever been in an industry where you're brand new, you've never worked a day, and everybody's like, "You're amazing, come work for us"? See, because
Yeah.
you have a credit card, right? You can come work for us. Swipe the card, swipe the card. So there's three brokerage models I want to talk to you about today. One is the franchise model. They have their brokerage in every little town. They have their box, kind of like McDonald's and Burger King. They have their little box in every town. Each of them are independently owned, or maybe somebody owns 4 or 5 of them. And their model depends on having 40 or 50 agents at each box to pay for the secretary, the copy machine, and to keep the lights on. Agents don't tend to come into that office. Out of the 40 or 50 agents, maybe 2 or 3 actually use the space. Everybody else works from home. But the idea that they have a box in each town makes people think that they're successful. So the box franchise method is a model that depends on you bringing them fees each month. Okay. The
Right.
second model is the big franchise model. Okay. They have nationwide corporations running these large organizations. By the way, one corporation owns like 7 of those brands. So you don't realize that you're really working for the same place over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the type that make you think that the brokerage is more important than yours. Okay. Basically, the rock or the balloon means more than you mean. And that's
Right.
kind of like working at Walmart. Nothing against Walmart, but if you walk into Walmart, anyone wearing a blue smock can sell you tires, jewelry, women's wear, diapers, anything, because the blue smock is more important than they are. You don't want to be less important than your brokerage. Okay. Third is the franchise. I'm sorry, the gym membership model. Okay, this is where they just take a low fee per transaction. They charge you a couple $100s a month. That depends on having 400 to 500 agents paying you $100 a month.
Right.
Okay, so it's kind of like a gym membership. I think I'm going to go work out next month. I didn't work out this month, but I'm going to pay the $100 to the gym so I can think about working out next month, although I probably won't go. And every month I think more about being a realtor, and I just keep paying them the fee because they don't make that much money on a transaction, and a transaction opens them up to liability.
Ability.
That's where the attorney's going to call and say, "Hey, your agent that you didn't train, that you didn't pay any attention to, that you just took $100 a month from, got my client in big trouble." So they don't really want you to do any transactions because they don't want the attorney to call. They just want that monthly fee. And so they get 400 or 500 agents all working at the same little brokerage, sending in a monthly fee, and that's how they work. I want to run a team. I want to run a place where people learn, where people are groomed up to be strong agents, because I think this is a vital industry. I think we are the best defense for our clients in the transaction. They're probably their largest financial transaction. So why don't we put the time investing into grooming up agents who are better, who are
Right.
stronger? And that's part of the reason why I got into Tom Ferry coaching. That's why I love being a coach. That's why I love being a licensed broker. I love helping people. And I see this industry just wash so many people out. Some of them, maybe it wasn't right, but some of them, they just got in the wrong model.
Agreed. I can agree with you on that. And now the group, we're going to talk in the group. It's not just going to be about how to choose the right brokerage, Because the other thing you mentioned is that they're just not trained. You know, there are, and I was one of those people. You know, my first year I was at that big box, and although there was training, there was no one I could call, text, or email that would respond.
Right.
Well, I've heard this story. It took 4 days to get a response once. You know, because
Because you're
there was
assigned a mentor
oh
who
yeah, that
doesn't
didn't
really care about you and is like, why
no.
do I have another responsibility?
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't even assign me a mentor at that point. There was a kind of a coach in-house, but realistically, after you took the classes, they had nothing to do with you. But I did not get the training, you know, and had it not been for you, I would have probably dropped out because I really had no one to go to that says, here's what you do next. Here's what you do next. So that's the other thing. You and I both know that the classes teach you, real estate classes teach you how to pass the test. They teach you laws and
Right.
contracts. They do not teach you how to do business. And would you say that's something else this group is for, of the new agents? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
The first vital steps: one, time management and task management. Absolutely critical to you being successful. Most people come from a 9 to 5 job into real estate. Real estate is rarely somebody's primary profession. Nobody
Mhm.
comes out of high school and goes, I want to sell houses. Very few people. Most people are transitioning from one industry into another. They're like, I'm tired of my 9 to 5 cubicle job, or right now, whatever it is, they come into this as a rescue profession.
Mhm.
Okay. They're used to being handed their project. They're used to having a manager talk to them once a week and run them through meetings and stuff. They're not used to working on their own, and they have to learn that. So that's number one. Two, never let the brokerage own your technology or your identity. So establish those early. Get those down. Have goals. Have a business plan. Work with a mentor. Work with somebody who can guide you through
Right.
what the first couple of years is going to be like. You will probably not be making a profit in your first year. Don't be expecting that. When somebody tells you in the recruiting seminar that you're going to have your first closing in 90 days, that's the same call that you get with somebody who says you'll be on the first page of Google. Yeah, no, you just hang those up and say
I know
thank
how
you,
to get
no.
myself on the first page of Google. Thank you.
Right, thank you. You'll get there on your own, but you don't need somebody calling you and saying you're going to have a transaction in 90 days or 60 days or something like that. That does not happen. That's just sales fluffery that the other places give you so that you swipe your card with them.
Mhm.
Oh, we have
Agreed.
training. Here's the book our founder wrote. Here's the class our founder wants you to take. Here's all the products in our merch. Swipe, swipe, swipe.
Yeah.
I, I you end up going broke just walking into their brokerage.
I was in the hole after my first year.
Yeah.
I literally lost money my first year because of
That's
that.
not unexpected, but people don't know that.
Right.
I worked my butt off my first year. I think I had 7 transactions. So a couple of them were leases, and
Mhm.
I came within like $300 or $400 of breaking even, and I
Mhm.
cried. I was like, "Oh my God, why did I work this hard?" Second year, I made it into profitability.
Right.
So I just want people to have realistic expectation and to understand how to get from 0 to 60 miles an hour, and then from 60 to wherever they want to go, and give people a guidepost for how to make that transition from one career into another. Get your list together. Get your list, your Christmas card, your holiday card list, your biggest birthday, everything. You're
Right.
going to have one huge party. How many people can you invite? Get your social media shaped up. Get your presence ready. What makes you unique? Why should somebody hire you instead of anybody else wearing the same badge you're wearing? Are you
And
just a generic face? Are you important?
and doing a lot of this, you can do a lot of this before you get your license, while you're still
Yeah.
studying. And if you do that before, you are set to go. You will be a step ahead of all those other people you went to class with, you know. And it's one of the things that we'll be talking about on the page is what steps you need to take, even before you get licensed, just so you're set to go and you're not trying to catch up. Because I found myself trying to catch up because no one told me you need a list. No one told me you need it. So there was all this information that I didn't know, and I felt like I was catching up, which also I felt like was putting me behind on where I
Mhm.
wanted to be in my business. So that's one of the other things. And I know we'll be putting ideas out probably almost daily about things that you can do to make your presence known, because it's very
Right.
important. We can't be what? A secret agent.
Exactly. Exactly. One of the worst feelings is when you log on to Facebook or you get something in the mail and one of your best friends just bought a new house.
Yeah.
And you were at their wedding. And they just didn't know yet that you were going into real estate, or they knew and they weren't quite sure. Sometimes this will happen. A friend of yours will buy a house with somebody else because they don't want you in their business. And
Right.
that's understandable. That happens from time to time. But if you have not put it out there, that's on you. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about the new page and the help we're going to provide agents, because
Right.
you and I didn't get that.
Yeah.
We were just starting out and we did not get that. And we know now that nobody else is getting that either. So we want to
Right.
provide that. So maybe we can bring that 87% failure rate down to 70% or 50%. Something just to make it better for everybody. When you
We
agree?
start small. We start where we're at.
All right, so that's it for today, and we will do more.
Mhm.
Actually, I wrote a list while we were on this one. All right.
Good.
Thanks, Bob.
Take care.